Hi Virgo, and welcome to your February 2022 predictions reading. So lovely to have you here. You are probably new here, so let me explain what we're going to be doing. I'm going to be pulling an oracle card from this deck first off. This will tell us what the main theme that you'll be experiencing in February will be, okay? From that card, we are going to then get tarot to elaborate further, and we're going to close with a quick little love reading to see what you can expect when it comes to love in February. Now, I don't mind if you cross-watch, okay? You're welcome to, but I need you to know that I'm a very honest tarot reader, and each of these readings are filmed with the intention of me speaking to that sign. So if you hear or see something that you don't particularly like, that is all on you, sweet pea. Okay, you've been warned. Cross-watch at your own discretion. Okay, so let's get into it. For Virgo, please, Spirit, what main theme will Virgo experience in 2022, February month? What main theme will Virgo experience? Oh, there's one card in the middle that wants to come out. There we go. Blue Howlite. This is interesting for you. This is a strange energy for you. Blue Howlite in this deck is influenced by the root chakra. I'm holding it on that angle because of the glare, but I appreciate that you're struggling to see things that I can see. So it's influenced by the root chakra, the water element, because the sign it's associated with is Scorpio, as well as the number 16. So sweets, I'm not going to hold you. You're going through some sort of transformation here, some sort of awareness and awakening. The thing what I feel is happening is that you're either starting something new in February that is really going to help you move forward by almost confronting things that you're not usually comfortable with doing. It could be a fear, it could be a belief, it could just be something that is outside of your cone of comfort, right? That comfort zone. Whatever it is, it's new, it's exciting, but it's kind of mixed with this danger and this looming sort of nervousness. So I feel like February, you've got the opportunity here to do things differently and to start from a place of creation, right? Like from the ground up, how do we want this to look? We can gut the whole thing, or we can start fresh and build it from the bones. Whatever it is that you're doing here in February, it's very much about creation in the way that you want, transformation, and I feel like you have the opportunity to be as specific or as sort of hands-off as you want. This is very bizarre. It's a very strange concept, but I can see how this situation could either be very exciting or it could be one filled with a lot of fear, because it's a lot of room for error, right? And if we don't stay positive, if we don't stay tuned into our optimistic mentality, we could have the very opportunity to look at the same wonderful situation and get very scared and nervous and afraid, and oh my gosh, this is a lot. So it's going to be an interesting month for you, Virgo. I think that it's going to be something that really tests your comfortability and your ability to adapt, because you are a mutable sign, but sometimes you get too in your head and these things get blown out of proportion. So let's get some tarot out here to help us understand your month a little better. The Seven of Pentacles, that's a card that I would associate with your energy. So I cut the deck and we had Seven of Pentacles there. Interesting. So Spirit, what can Virgo expect for the month of February? What's going on in the month of February? First two cards coming out for you are the Wheel of Fortune with the Two of Swords. So I think that all of this nervousness is just you being cautious, because these two cards tell me that you've got a beautiful opportunity opening your month straight off the cuff. This could hit towards the end of January even. What can Virgo expect? We also have the Strength card and the Seven of Swords coming out. Now, both of these cards are reversed, but that doesn't impact the overall vibe that I'm getting for you. I feel like the month is one that will be one to remember. You're making leaps and bounds in some aspects of your life, and I think that That comfortability has to do with your emotions and how you choose to express yourself as well. Especially if you have loved ones around you or people supporting you, you've got to be more open about what you're going through and the fears that you're experiencing. Because overall, there's a lot of exciting changes happening. Fortune smiling upon you at the start of the month. You have this sort of directional haze because I see that you've got an open horizon and you have multiple different options that you can choose. Now, this is slightly overwhelming if you're an overthinker, but it is all the more exciting for all of you because I feel like these are opportunities that make you feel like you're in control again, and they help you feel more confident about where you're headed to. You feel like you have chances and choices again. And for some of you, it's been a while since you've felt like you've had a specific purpose or sense of direction. So I see the Wheel of Fortune being a blessing of some sort that's very obvious and ricochets. So it could be as simple as somebody coming back into your life that you haven't seen in a long time, but with them they bring, their own experiences, and you end up having mutual hobbies and interests, which pivot into you creating more social connections, which also pivots towards you feeling better about your self-image because you're meeting new people and they're really funny and they're nice to you and they make you feel good about yourself. So it has like this knock-on effect, this ricocheting effect where one thing comes in and it opens many, many doors for you with the Wheel of Fortune. The thing about this is it could just be an easy change of pace, right? But it's enough to give you a sense of purpose and direction. So for some of you, it's feeling like doing something different that you really wanted to do. So it could even just be traveling to another area of your city or to another part of the country, or maybe you get to go overseas. Whatever this is, it's different enough to keep you engaged and be exciting, and yet it's not too bold for you to feel like it's a once-in-a-lifetime thing, because it helps you feel present and stay receptive to many other opportunities that come your way. I'm going to stop explaining it because I feel like I'm just over-explaining it now. So that's what you need to know. One big blessing that's opening many doors. And I see that this will boost your confidence, but with the Two of Swords here, it almost puts you in a position where you're like, well, what do I do now? This is fun, this was exciting, but all good things come to an end. What do I do now? So you've got to ask yourself some pretty big questions here towards the start of February. The Two of Swords is looking like indecisiveness, and you're trying to connect with your inner intuition. You're a very wise person, Virgo. Stereotypically speaking, people come to you for advice because you can be objective and yet very wise in how you overcome challenges. That's a very stereotypical way of looking at a Virgo, but with this Two of Swords, for once you're the one that needs to go within and silence the radio noise and figure out what you want to do. Now, for some of you, you're not going to know by the end of the month, but it's very important that you absorb all the information possible and that you don't shut yourself off too early. Stay receptive, stay open to more information as the month develops, because this is a slow developing situation. You're not going to know immediately. You're going to need time to develop your mind and where you're at with that, okay? So just sit on it, no rushed action there. Next, towards the end of the month, I apologize if I'm talking fast, but you've got a lot going on and a lot of it's in your head, but some of it is physical, and that's what we're seeing over here with the Strength card again. The Strength card reversed is asking for patience and compassion. You've got a situation developing here where it kind of feels like you're dealing with someone or with something that isn't sitting right, and you're trying to get to the bottom of it. You're trying to figure it out. You're trying to push through it. And I feel like it unfortunately coincides with something that you are very excited about as well. It's almost like on one side of the spectrum, you've got this wonderful opportunity developing, and on the other side, you've got this heavy baggage holding you back. And this is where you're being called to be patient and compassionate, because it feels like this could be a loved one who is struggling to let go of you as you push through these new experiences, right? You have an opportunity here to transform something in your life, and it's bringing about a confident new side of yourself that someone who is used to having you this big is struggling to deal with, because now you're this big. So it could be a parental figure, or just someone who's very attached to you, someone who needs you to be meek and sort of shy and manageable. But it feels like this situation has like an emotional agenda to it, if that makes sense. Like this person is emotionally thinking that they're coming from a good place, like they have a loyal heart, but I feel like their actions are very selfish and it's not in your best interest. So I do think that communication with this person is difficult. It's hard to tell them, like, listen, I need to do this, because there's respect there, but it also feels like that's a conversation that needs to be had, because with the Seven of Swords reversed, a lot is left unsaid with this person, and it's like you bite your tongue with this person. There's some things that you just don't say because you have this respect for them. So I feel like there's an uncomfortable elephant in the room here that in the last week of February needs to be called out. Like, hey, elephant, why are you still here? We need to talk about this. So can I clarify those cards? Is there anything else Virgo needs to know about those two cards for February, Spirit? Is there anything else? The Ace of Cups. So I do see a new opportunity in this relationship developing because of that conversation. So it's very important that you have this difficult conversation with this person. Again, I feel like their heart is in the right place, but what they're doing is selfish, and they just need to understand where you're coming from. I do see this resolving as long as you're able to have this conversation. If you both walk around on eggshells and pretend like that elephant isn't standing there in the corner of the room, your relationship will be negatively impacted. Otherwise, there's a lot of love here, and the chance to renew this is very, very, very much literally on the cards. Speaking of love and on the cards, we're going to go have a look at your love life specifically now, because I feel like this could just be a friend or a family member. Let's have a look at romance for you now. What can Virgo expect when it comes to love in February, Spirit? What can Virgo expect when it comes to love in February? Oh, look at you with the Tower. That is what the blue Howlite card is the Tower. I'm going to get one more card. What can... We have Justice in the reverse position for you. So some of you could have other earth signs in other parts of your chart. I'm not going to say who, but I have been filming not in order, and this came out for another group as well. So listen, well, your love life's going through it. That's the best way that I can describe it. We don't have time for me to beat around the bush. I see you coming to a realization with the person that you're dealing with, either on a close level or just somebody who you've been thinking about, okay? This can apply to all of you, whether you're in a relationship, situationship, you're interested, you're crushing, you don't really have anybody except the person in your imagination, same thing. When it comes to love, Virgo, you're realizing something about your love situation, and it's catastrophic. It's forcing you to face the truth. It's forcing you to stop beating around the bush, to look at the hard issues head on, and it's forcing you to take accountability. You're taking on a masculine role when it comes to your love life, and this is about clearing out the cobwebs, facing issues head on, and not lying to yourself and pretending that things are a certain way. You're facing reality, and you're really doing this with the idea of, I'm needing to start moving things forward in the way that I want it to. So some of you are trying to hit milestones, or you have plans and ideas that you want when it comes to love, and that's why you're needing to look at your circumstances realistically, and you need to start taking love more seriously. I see you having these sort of serious ways of thinking about love in February, and it could lead you to either falling away from people that just don't make the cut, cutting those sorts of situationships off, or having those hard conversations with those people and waiting to see if they can step up and be a part of what you want and what you need. Because this isn't about projecting a fantasy. This is about destroying the fantasy and really starting to create reality when it comes to love. Now, what this is doing for a lot of you with Justice Reverse is this is weeding out the weeds, essentially. You're cutting out the weeds, and you're like, you know what? I can't pretend that these weeds are going to sustain me for the rest of my life. I can't pretend that this behavior or like acting like this with this person is what I want for the rest of my life. And for most of you, it doesn't mean that you have to completely separate yourself from the person that you're in love with or that you're dealing with, but I do see that you're having these hard realizations which lead to hard conversations and real actions, real change. I do think that some of you are going to be cutting off those loose attachments because they were barely there to begin with, and you're going to be looking for more serious people. And before you do that, you're almost wanting to kind of rebuild what you want and what you need. You know what you don't want, but you're still trying to figure out what you want and what you need looks like to you. So I do see this taking a serious turn when it comes to love. And I have a feeling with Justice reversed that you're not going to want to make a decision too soon, right? You're going to want to take your time about this, but you're not going to want to pretend and smile through the fakeness either. You're going to want to be more authentic and start acting in the way that aligns with the reality that you want when it comes to love and your partner. So Virgo, that is what I'm seeing for you when it comes to February 2022. I hope that was helpful for you. You're welcome to come back throughout the month and check in, see where you're at. I will be posting an update throughout the month for your sign. I'm thinking I'll make these updates themed, like they may not be general like this. So if there's a theme that you'd like me to post about, please comment down below. I'm open to suggestions. This channel is very new, very malleable, mutable like you and your sign. So let me know what you'd like to see. And I hope that February is a prosperous, abundant month for you. It has been a pleasure to read for you, and I shall connect with you very, very soon. Bye.